teenagers. So that's one reason I want to be a teacher, is just because I think that's actually where I feel like most comfortable is in a classroom, and so that's just part of my passion. It's just like,
Okay, but that could be a math teacher.
true, that's what I said. This is the
Okay.
same reason why I want to be a teacher.
Okay, so you don't care what you teach?
Well, I do, but I'm also I'm a socialist and English, but it just basically, yeah, to make a difference in some way.
Okay. Others?
For me, English was an English classroom is a place where you can do a lot more things than you can in certain classrooms, like multimedia and all the different cross-curricular things. You can take it, you can write about anything, right? And you can read about anything, so it's very open.
Great. There's somebody at every table who hasn't spoken yet in public.
I think that language generates everything, and so I see teaching English as a chance to share that value with sort of the new generation, for to say the younger people, and
Yeah, get used to it. You guys are old. Sorry.
and to convince them to value it as well.
Convince them to value it as well. Kathy?
A lot of us kind of agree, the wrong way. A lot of us kind of agree that because we all really love English, or we all do that, it's just kind of a natural thing to want to get other people to really enjoy it, and that's a way of doing it.
I think English too is one of the classes that you kind of learn the most life skills when you're in there, like the active listening and reading comprehension and public speaking, which in the English classroom you have more of a chance than any of the other ones to build up those like building blocks.
Okay. So now, think about, I'm the English teacher, and you are all grade 10 students. You don't love literature. You're not great readers. You'd be way happier going and listening to your music and hanging out somewhere else with your friends. You're just not that passionate. So, think about the disconnect that might be there and what you're going to do about that. You are not going to get a whole class full of readers of good literature. You're not going to get a group of people who are desperate to read Macbeth.
What?
You might get some. You're going to get some people who are desperate just to get out of high school. You're going to get some people who have covered up the fact that they can't read very well for their whole school careers. You're going to get people who love physics and can't see any sense in all of the diversity of English. Doesn't make any sense at all to them. You're going to get people who just want to get out and be active. So keep that in mind as you're going out into the school this week, as you're thinking about why you're here, and is there a disconnect, and if there is, how you bridge that. Harold?
I just think that's an interesting point, because a lot of people in this room might just really love literature and not really understand why the youth don't love literature.
Yeah.
And so there has to be more innovation and technique in the way in which we can like conjure that passion. And for me, I don't really love literature that much, but I see the importance in it, and I know how great it is. So maybe I can like find a middle ground so that we can like build that passion up together.
So how are you going to build that up together? That's really important, together. And not saying, I know it's really important, trust me, down the road, you'll see that I'm right. That one won't work for you. It's going to be on the test, so you better read it and understand it. That will only work so far for you. I'll be really disappointed in you. That one won't go very far either. So when you start thinking about what are the things that are going to bridge that between the things you love, the things that bring you to school every day as teachers, and who your students are. You can start thinking about that Wednesday morning as you're in classes, different classes. How do you make it important to every student in different ways? Goes back to the learning principles right off the bat. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of an activity now that brings all of these, well, not all of them, but many of these strands together. So we're going to do a Reader's Theater activity. Some of you may know about it, some of you may not know about it, Reader's Theater. But basically what it is acting just using your voice. So you don't have to actually physically engage, although you can. And we're going to today use poetry that brings in a range of different issues that you may want to talk about at some point in your classrooms. So the first job is for you, and this is where we're going to change up our groups. So I want you to come up and explore these. There's 10 different poems, and pick the one that speaks to you the best. Okay, so just take a couple of minutes, go and find a poem.
Watch as the crazy, lovely students approach the poetry. Such intense silence.
Once you've got one, sit down,
Cut it.
because
But then
there's not enough room
one
around the
makes a
table for
move.
34 people.
And the rest follow.
Pounce. Tearing it apart. Paper cuts everywhere.
Dave and Anne.
We need background music.
Make Dave Attenborough. That's what we need. So we need Dave Attenborough. That's what we need. No, just David Attenborough from BBC.
Oh.
Like series. To narrate for
We need Sean Connery.
that to go Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah, Morgan Freeman would be good. I'm gonna stop this.